Now, when it comes to our gut health, we tend to think first of the most clinical and medical solutions, which are prescription medication and doctor's visits. Dietitian Mignon Jordaan joins us this afternoon with Piwo Mabunu, marketing manager at Ascendus Pharma, to shed some light on how some gut issues simply need attention, a few lifestyle changes, and maybe even an over-the-counter companion. Ladies, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
I've really been treasuring just following the journey and the conversation on our sister show Expresso, but now it's time to kind of debunk and unpack gut health. I mean, if I can just start with you, Mignon. When it comes to poor gut health, what are some of those signs and symptoms that we see, and how can diet play a part in that?
Okay, so the typical symptoms you can experience when you have very poor gut health is typically bloating, abdominal pain, constipation, diarrhea, even the combination of those two, nausea, vomiting, even if it gets to that severe point. And all those things can definitely be impacted by your diet. So if there's a high intake of saturated fat, trans fats, a low intake of dietary fiber, which comes from your whole grain starches, fruit and vegetables, and also if your gut doesn't have enough microbiome, so that your diet can also impact.
What changes can they make in their diet to improve their gut health?
You can definitely just make sure that you follow a general, healthy, balanced diet. And obviously your registered dietitian can definitely calculate that for you to make sure you get enough dietary fiber and all the vitamins and minerals that you need. But definitely focusing on your dietary fiber, because your dietary fiber helps with general gut movement, general gut comfort, and making sure that you just have general gut health. And also making sure that you have a good intake of good fats, because your saturated fat intake is definitely something that causes a lot of gut discomfort. So if you focus on a lot of unsaturated fats, mainly things like nuts and seeds, avo, fatty fish like salmon, those type of things are definitely anti-inflammatory as well. So whatever inflammation there is in your gut can definitely be counteracted with that.
Stunning. Now, at the end of the day, Piwo, we cannot have a one-sided conversation. It's very nice to know what lifestyle daily changes we can make within our diets. But when it comes to entering in another champion in this conversation, which is UNIENZYME, how can it help in collaboration with some of these changes with our gut health?
Well, UNIENZYME was actually specifically developed with that in mind. Above those lifestyle changes and also dietary changes, one can also supplement with a product like UNIENZYME, which is essentially a multi-enzyme digestive enzyme that essentially helps with the whole digestive process within the gut. So that's why UNIENZYME also fits in quite well with some of those lifestyle changes, specifically because we know it doesn't all happen overnight. So a little bit of help is welcome every now and again.
Trust me, I know all about it. I do just suffer from bloating. I think that should just be number one. And I know already some of the foods I should stay away from. So Mignon, don't come for me. But it's also good to know that we do have something that we can get just so convenient to help. So then I have to find out, I'm a stickler for finding out what is in what I'm taking. You know, so what ingredients do we find in UNIENZYME that can help with some of those digestive disorders such as heartburn? I know my father struggles with heartburn, abdominal discomfort or indigestion.
So essentially UNIENZYME consists of 5 unique ingredients, specifically 2 digestive enzymes, the first one being your papain, which is essentially a proteolytic enzyme. And what that does is that it helps to break down those proteins into smaller fragments so that they're better digested. And then it actually works synergistically with another enzyme, which is called alpha amylase. And what essentially what that does is that it actually helps with the digestion of your starches and your carbohydrates. And we know in South Africa, we love those, right?
Papa, bread, rice, pasta. Okay.
All of it together. And then over and above that, we actually also have a product called simethicone. And what simethicone does is that it's actually an anti-flatulent that helps with that stomach discomfort that one will experience because of gastrointestinal gas. So all that gas, bloating, belching that you also mentioned earlier on. And then over and above that, we also have your nicotinamide, which is essentially a vitamin B3 that helps with the metabolism or metabolization of your carbohydrates, of your proteins, and also the fats that Mignon also mentioned as well. And then the last ingredient that we have inside it is your activated charcoal. And essentially what that does is it actually traps all the toxins inside the gut and preventing them from then being absorbed into the body. So you've got all those 5 ingredients essentially helping with all those symptoms that we mentioned earlier on of that flatulence, with that belching, that bloating, and also even that stomach discomfort or that feeling of fullness, especially after you've overindulged on Sunday or that Christmas lunch dinner.
He was coming for me in this conversation. But absolutely, that's what it's about, breaking down what's actually going on when we do experience this and knowing how to treat it. Now, okay, we've ticked off diet, sorted. We've ticked off what we can actually go seek for that additional help in UNIENZYME. But every single day changes, whether it's lifestyle changes. What would you also suggest, give advice on when it comes to that upward gut health?
I would definitely suggest that you follow a general healthy eating plan, making sure that it's individualized, focused on you, not a diet that you can Google that is for the general population. You need to focus something that is specifically designed for you. And then also just making sure you achieve a healthy weight, because weight definitely plays a role in gut health. So if you're overweight or underweight, even normal weight people does have gut issues, but making sure your weight is healthy, and also just being physically active. So physical activity definitely plays a role as well.
I was actually about to say, like for myself, when I do experience that, sometimes I just almost, and I know this sounds weird, I feel like going for a run, just to kind of let go of all of that. Okay, well, ladies, I really, really appreciate it, because here on Afternoon Express, we do focus on all things the kitchen in our masterclass. So it's also very important to know how we can do those daily decisions to make the change. We appreciate it. Now, gut health-created issues are so broad, and we can speak up on anyone or anything regarding it. It's never too early or too late to start taking your gut health more seriously. Visit your local pharmacy or visit www.unienzyme.co.za to learn so much more. Now, coming up after the break, we head straight into a self-sourcing toffee apple pudding with Chef Jay and Jenny Morris. And then there's so much more amazing winter pudding recipes on today's show coming your way. So see you after these.